The most expensive SUV on the lot is often the biggest waste of money. Not because it looks bad, because it breaks first. The loaded trim, bigger wheels, more tech, more features, is usually the one stacking up repair bills. The base model? That's the one still running at 200,000 miles. Here are 9 reasons why. Number 9. Fewer electronics, fewer failures. This one sets the stage for everything else on this list. Modern high-trim SUVs are absolutely loaded with electronics. Multiple touchscreens, digital gauge clusters, heads-up displays, power tailgates, adaptive lighting, memory seats, dozens of control modules all talking to each other over CAN bus networks. And here's the thing, every single one of those systems is another failure point. You want to know what actually breaks on newer SUVs? It's not engines, it's not transmissions. Consumer reports and warranty claim data consistently show that in-car electronics are the #1 problem category for newer vehicles. Number 1. Infotainment screens freezing mid-drive. Body control modules throwing phantom fault codes. Electronic parking brakes locking up for no reason. Warning lights popping on when there's literally nothing mechanically wrong with the vehicle. Base trims skip most of that. Analog gauges, smaller, simpler infotainment. Manual seat controls, fewer sensors overall. And here's the logic that no one argues with. You can't have electronic failures on features that don't exist. That's it. That's the whole advantage right there. But electronics aren't the only thing expensive trims get wrong. Wait until you hear what those big fancy wheels are doing to the rest of the vehicle. Number 8. Smaller wheels save suspensions. Now this one catches people off guard. Expensive trims almost always come with large alloy wheels and low-profile tires. 20-inch, 22-inch. They look incredible on the lot, and they absolutely destroy components on actual roads. Base model SUVs usually run 16 to 18-inch wheels with thick tire sidewalls. High trims jump to 20 to 22-inch wheels with sidewalls so thin there's zero forgiveness. And here's what actually fails: bent wheels from potholes, cracked rims, premature ball joint wear, control arm bushing failure, wheel bearing damage, all of it directly tied to oversized wheels slamming into every expansion joint and pothole on American roads. One mechanic I talked to put it perfectly: more rubber equals more shock absorption. The suspension does the job, not the rim. Base model owners don't even think about this stuff. They just drive, and their suspensions last twice as long because the tire is doing what it's supposed to do. And here's the kicker. Replacing a bent 21-inch alloy rim can cost $800 to over $1,200 per wheel. A base model 17-inch steel or alloy, under $200. The math adds up fast, especially if you live anywhere with real weather and real roads. Now, if you think wheels and suspension are expensive problems, wait until we get under the hood, because what's happening with drivetrains on high trims is even worse. Number 7. Simpler drivetrains last longer. Alright, this is a big one. Base trims tend to keep basic, proven drivetrains. Front-wheel drive, simple part-time AWD. No electronic torque splitting, no drama. High trims? That's where the complexity shows up. Torque vectoring AWD systems. Adaptive driveline clutches. Multiple drive modes altering throttle mapping, transmission behavior, and steering feel simultaneously. Electronic differentials trying to predict what you're doing before you do it. And here's what fails after 100,000 miles. AWD couplers, transfer case actuators, drivetrain sensors throwing the vehicle into limp mode, software conflicts between traction systems fighting each other. The data backs it up too. AWD systems statistically carry higher long-term repair costs than FWD equivalents, especially past that 100K mark. And most people buying AWD SUVs in suburbs never actually need AWD in the first place. Base trims keep it simple: less to manage, less to calibrate, less to fail. And the problems don't stop under the hood. Step inside a high-trim SUV after a few years and you'll see exactly where your money went and where it disappeared. Number 6. Luxury interiors age terribly. This one's almost painful to watch. High-end SUV interiors feel amazing the first year. Leather-wrapped dashboards, contrast stitching everywhere, soft touch coating, piano black trim, ambient lighting in 17 colors. Fast forward 5 years, that leather dashboard, cracked from heat exposure, the soft touch plastics, peeling and getting sticky, trim panels delaminating. Interior rattles multiplying every month. One owner on a forum described their luxury SUV interior at 80,000 miles as looking like it went through a divorce. And honestly, that's not far off. Base models use hard plastics and cloth seats, fewer glued surfaces, fewer layered materials. It doesn't photograph well. Nobody's posting it on social media. But here's the thing. It still looks essentially the same at 150,000 miles. Maybe a little worn, but not falling apart. Interior wear is one of the most common reasons older luxury trim SUVs feel completely used out long before the drivetrain has any issues. The engine's fine, the transmission's fine, but the cabin feels like it's disintegrating around you. Ugly ages better than delicate every single time. Speaking of what's under the hood, the engine situation on expensive trims might be the most overlooked problem on this entire list. Number 5. Proven engines not pushed once. Top trims love to flex with turbocharged engines, higher boost levels, performance tuning, cylinder deactivation, stop-start systems. It all sounds impressive on a spec sheet, but here's what actually happens over time. Turbochargers and wastegates wear out. Carbon buildup from direct injection clogs intake valves. Aggressive piston ring designs cause oil consumption issues. Stop-start systems burn through starter motors and batteries faster than conventional setups. Base trims, naturally aspirated engines. Lower compression, conservative tuning. Nothing exciting, nothing flashy. Nothing that makes your mechanic wince, and the data is clear on this one. Naturally aspirated engines consistently outlast turbocharged equivalents when maintenance habits are average, not perfect, average. The kind of maintenance most real people actually do. Lower stress equals longer life. That's not marketing. That's physics. And ask any independent mechanic what engine they'd rather work on at 150,000 miles. A naturally aspirated V6 or a twin-turbo 4-cylinder with direct injection. The answer is always the same, always. Now, here's something most people never even consider. All those luxury features don't just add complexity, they add weight. And that weight is silently killing everything underneath. Number 4. Less weight, less wear. People underestimate this one constantly. Luxury trims add serious weight. Panoramic sunroofs, power seats with motors in every direction, acoustic glass, larger wheels and heavier brake components. Additional sound insulation packed into every panel. We're talking hundreds of extra pounds on the same platform. Often the same frame, suspension geometry, and brake design. Originally spec'd for the lighter version. And all that weight stresses everything underneath. Brakes wear faster. Transmissions run hotter. Suspensions compress harder over every bump. Cooling systems work overtime. What does that actually mean for owners? More frequent brake jobs. Transmission heat buildup leading to premature wear. Faster suspension degradation. All documented. All predictable. Base models are often 300 to 500 pounds lighter than fully loaded versions. Everything works less hard, every single mile. The brakes last longer. The transmission stays cooler. The shocks don't blow out at 60,000 miles. It's simple math. Less weight equals less wear. And less wear equals lower repair bills for the life of the vehicle. But we're just getting to the top 3 now. And this next one is something that's only getting worse every single year. Number 3. Fewer software dependencies. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Modern high-trim SUVs are basically rolling computers. They depend on over-the-air updates, software-controlled safety systems, feature subscriptions, integrated driver assist technology stacks that need constant calibration. And here's what dealers are seeing more and more. Vehicles with absolutely no mechanical fault whatsoever sitting in service bays because a software conflict triggered persistent warning lights. Systems disabled after a failed update. Sensors throwing fault codes because of calibration drift. Features that straight up stop working when a subscription lapses. You're spending $55,000 on a vehicle and a feature you paid for just turns off because you didn't renew a monthly subscription. You seriously can't make this stuff up. Base models depend far less on software. Core functions stay mechanical. The climate control works because it's wired to work, not because a server somewhere gave it permission. Mechanical systems don't need patches. They don't need updates. They don't get bricked, and that alone is worth more than most people realize. 10 years from now, when those software servers get decommissioned, base model owners won't even notice. Luxury trim owners will be staring at a touchscreen that can't connect to anything. Alright, number 2 is one that has nothing to do with engineering, and mechanics say it might matter more than anything else on this list. Number 2, owners treat them differently. This one surprises a lot of people, but mechanics will tell you it's one of the biggest factors in long-term reliability. And it has nothing to do with engineering. Luxury SUV owners tend to drive harder. They tow more aggressively. They push performance features because that's what they paid for. And here's the ironic part. They often wait longer between services because they assume it's premium. It can handle it. Base model SUV owners? They drive conservatively. They service on schedule. They treat the vehicle as daily transportation, not a status symbol. And what do mechanics actually see? Base models come in for routine oil changes, tire rotations, and brake inspections. High trims come in when something is already broken. That's the pattern, over and over. Owner behavior is a massive variable in long-term reliability, sometimes even bigger than engineering differences between trims. A well-maintained base model will outlast a neglected luxury trim every single time. It's not even close. And that brings us to number 1, the real reason base models outlast everything else. And once you hear this, you'll never look at a dealer lot the same way again. Number 1, manufacturers over-engineer base models. Alright, here's the one that ties everything together. And it's the reason mechanics have been recommending base trims for years. Base model SUVs are built to hit fleet reliability targets. They're designed to satisfy warranty cost projections. They have to survive rental car abuse, commercial fleet use, and government vehicle duty cycles. Manufacturers cannot afford base models failing in large numbers because that's where the volume lives. That's where the warranty claims pile up. That's where one recall costs hundreds of millions. So what do? Conservative tuning, proven components, fewer experimental features. Every part on a base model has been through more validation testing than most people realize. Because the financial risk of failure at that scale is enormous. High trims. Those exist to drive profit margins. They showcase new technology. They upsell features. And if a panoramic sunroof motor fails on 2% of limited trims, that's a manageable number. If a base model engine fails at that rate across 200,000 fleet units, that's a catastrophe. Fleet and rental vehicles overwhelmingly use base trims, and manufacturers design them to survive that reality. That's not an accident. That's the business model. Base models are built to be boring, and boring lasts. That's why when you ask a mechanic what they drive personally, 9 times out of 10, it's a base model. Not because they can't afford the upgrade, because they've seen what happens to the upgrade at 120,000 miles. So there you have it. 9 reasons the SUV everyone walks past on the lot is usually the one that'll still be running when the loaded version is sitting in a junkyard. More electronics means more failures. More weight means more wear. More complexity means more cost. And manufacturers know it, which is why they over-engineer the base models to survive the hardest use cases imaginable. Next time you're shopping, ask yourself, do you want the one that looks good in the driveway, or the one that's still running at 250,000 miles? If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and have you ever owned a base model that just refused to die? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.